Welcome to Beyond Hormones, the Business of Wellness, the podcast for hormone and functional medicine providers who want a thriving, predictably profitable practice and maybe a little less stress along the way. Hi, I'm your host, Jody Lane, and I've worked with lots of clinics in marketing, sales, and business development, and I have seen what works and what doesn't. And here's what I believe. Hormone and wellness care should be available to everyone who wants it. And while providers know the medicine, many struggle with the business side of their cash practice. And that's where I come in. See, this podcast is here to share real strategies, real stories, things you can implement in your practice right away. So I am so glad you're here. Come on, let's go. Now, before we jump into today's Fiverr, I want to tell you about the series that these episodes are a part of. For the next few months, and actually for the last month or so, our Thursday episodes are a part of the Clinic Accelerator series, which we share short, practical strategies pulled directly from the courses inside the Accelerator, which is our training platform for hormone and wellness clinic owners. Everything we teach inside the Accelerator is built around our POWER framework. POWER stands for positioning, operations, workforce, experience, and revenue. The 5 areas that determine whether a clinic struggles or becomes predictably profitable. Okay, you ready? Let's jump into today's idea. All right, it's some real talk here. How many of you listening out there walked out of a meeting and thought, what did we actually accomplish? Maybe you spent an hour going in circles, or you left more confused than when you walked in. Or maybe the meeting ended and nobody was really sure what in the world happened. Now, if that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And today's Thursday Fiverr is for you. Because I want to talk about meetings, specifically why so many of them are a total time suck and what we can do to fix that. Here's the thing. It's not that meetings are the problem. Actually, I like meetings. It's that most of us were never taught how to run one, especially in the healthcare industry. We have fewer meetings than other industries because our schedules are packed with patients, which sounds like a win, but it actually means we get less practice and more of the meetings we do end up being, not so great. So I've seen this firsthand. And if I'm being honest, some of the worst meetings I was ever a part of, I was the one running them. Yeah, I'm telling on myself. So let's talk about the 5 patterns that I've learned make meetings go sideways, because once you can spot them, you can totally fix them. All right, here's the first one. You called a meeting just to share information. Most updates can be handled in a quick email or a short Loom video. But if nothing comes out of your gathering, no decisions made, no ideas generated, people feel like they wasted their time when they walk out. So pay attention to that. The second thing, you invited people who didn't need to be there. And I get it. You don't want anyone to feel left out. I am absolutely the worst when it comes to this. But tying up your MA or your front desk coordinator for a 45-minute conversation that has nothing to do with their role isn't doing them any favors either. All right, here's number 3. There's no structure. Somebody tells a story, the conversation goes sideways, and before you know it, your next patient is waiting and you never got to the actual agenda. Sound familiar? Now, this often happens when the culture is great because people like to spend time with each other and maybe they haven't had a chance to share what happened over the weekend. So pay attention to that. And then number 4, there's no clear purpose, and nobody told anyone ahead of time what they wanted to discuss. People don't come prepared if they don't know what they're walking into, so make sure to let people know what the purpose is. And then number 5, there's no follow through. You leave energized, ready to go, and then nothing gets written down, nobody owns the action items, and 2 weeks later, you're having the exact same conversation all over again. Any of these hitting close to home? Any of these sound familiar? I know that I have witnessed all of these things. So here's what I want you to see right now. A bad meeting isn't just an annoying hour lost. It has a ripple effect. Confusion leads to mistakes. Frustration builds into resentment. And a disengaged team member eventually becomes former team members. But the flip side is also true, so don't lose hope. See, when you run a good meeting with a clear purpose, the right people in the room, a little structure around the meeting, and actual next steps, it becomes one of the most powerful tools you have. It creates alignment. It builds trust among the team, and it definitely should be moving your clinic forward. You don't need to become some corporate management guru. You just need a little rhythm that works for your team and for your practice. So that's our takeaway for today. Before your next meeting, ask yourself those 5 questions. 1, do we actually need to meet? 2, are the right people in the room? 3, do we have an agenda and we know what we want to accomplish? 4, does everyone know why we're here? And 5, how are we capturing what comes out of this? Just start there. It's a small shift, but I promise you, you are going to feel the difference. All right, that's all I have for you today. But if today's episode got you thinking about meetings, then I want to invite you to go a little bit deeper. This episode is actually pulled from a full course that we created called Making Meetings Effective, which lives inside our training platform for clinic owners called The Accelerator. Inside that course, we walk through exactly how to run a meeting, how to create that structure for your agenda, and how to make people walk out of your meetings feeling that they accomplished something versus they wasted their time. If you want to check it out, you can create a free account at accelerator.acceleratedmedicalpractices.com, and I will have that link in the show notes. When you sign up, you're going to find free courses waiting for you there. And then from there, you can either purchase individual trainings that are specific to what you want to learn, or what a lot of clinic owners do is they buy the Power Pass, which is a $99 a month pass that gives you access to everything inside the Accelerator. Okay, last favor. The hormone and wellness industry is a community. We all learn from each other. So if you know another provider or a clinic owner who could benefit from this information, do me a favor, share this episode with them. And as always, if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe. It does wonders for the show, and you'll know when the next one pops into your box. All right, thanks so much for listening, and I will see you on Monday for our next Power episode and next Thursday for our next Fiver. Thanks. Thank you for listening to Beyond Hormones, the business of wellness. I hope that you're walking away with fresh ideas and real strategies you can use to grow your practice with profit and purpose. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow the show so you never miss a conversation. And if something you heard today resonated with you, do me a favor, share this episode with a friend or a colleague. It's one of the best ways you can support the show, and it might be exactly what they need to hear right now. If you want even more tools and support, go ahead and head over to acceleratedmedicalpractices.com. Until next time, keep doing the work that matters. Your patients need you, and I am cheering you along every step of the way.